Danganronpa.
Check, check. Alright, audio's working. Looks like the video's working. Have my chat window ready. Alright, hey bye friend. Yeah, it's a tad late. I wasn't expecting to come home like half an hour later than I expected. But yeah, here we are. We're doing Danganronpa an hour and a bit later. We're on chapter 5, trial session. Yes, I want to load this game. Let's get this going. Alright, don't need to prep anything. Let's just go.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
I don't know. Who done it kind of sucked last time.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
And the angry Monami.
Oh my! Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you?
She is so pissed.
You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit?
And bashing the mochi. She needs a hammer.
Chesto!
That doesn't quite work. It sounds better in Japanese. Cause that's the sound, that's the shout that you make when you do a straight punch. But that landed in her face. Still pissed.
One more time! Jeez! How about this one?
Oh, going all Hakusho here.
This will be my final blow!
And then deal it up. Still pissed.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
No, she's just not awake.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tutorial finally got the kill.
Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
I'm actually legitimately confused of who would have killed him. But my guess is still suicide.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
Says the guy who planned the second murder.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
I don't know, you betrayed your own best friend.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
Where to begin?
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Or the wounds on Nagito's really caused by the torture in the first place?
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Actually, I have to look up some of these testimonials because I completely forgot what they were. Torture wounds. Both of Nagito's legs were tied up with rope. Each rope was tied. Phyllis prevented from moving. His thighs were also covered with a lot of stab wounds. Survival knife. Survival knife that has stabbed Nagito's right hand from the military base. It's safe to assume the wounds on his legs and arm were caused by this knife. Duct tape. Covered with duct tape, however, the blood that splattered onto the face under the tape itself had a lot of crinkles in it, as if Nagito was desperately moving his mouth underneath it. The plushie. 5-size Mario plushie that was on the floor near the origin point has a huge hole in the body where the stomach is, as if it was stabbed. Burner panels. Tipped over panels. Scattered on the ground. Goods warehouse. That's definitely not it. Oil lighter. Warning point caught fire. Monokuma's account. Knew along that the bombs were fake. However, he apparently never revealed that fact to anyone. So that's probably the one I want.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
No, he could. He did the first time. Okay, so I still need
The
to
killer didn't
find...
take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
I'm probably gonna have to grab one of
So,
these things.
the
Doesn't look like any of these clues would work.
Is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
No.
There's no way I'd
Oh, I
torture
can't. I
someone.
can't grab the blue ones. I remember that now.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
I'm gonna try this. Whoops. Ah, I keep hitting the wrong button. Not it.
Damn it! The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Got it. Nope. I am not catching the first hook. This is a really
Killer
rough
didn't take
start.
Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
Nope.
Damn it! The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
Nope, that didn't work. Okay, already stumped on the first thing, and I'm kind of feeling bad about it.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him?
Alright, the duct tape.
Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
Nope, that's not it.
Damn it! The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
That was
No,
kind
that's
of
wrong.
obvious. I feel really dumb right now.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
Start with the obvious. Should have known.
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Oh god, not Mr. Soda. Not you again.
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
That's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Says the man who always falls into one. Oh wow, that's a lot.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut,
Oh, it's the other stick.
you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how at first the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut. Whew, that was
Ah, I
close,
missed.
you guys. Thanks to me, you guys didn't get caught in the trap.
No, because you're an idiot.
Pay attention. This is how at first the killer tortured and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him,
Oh, that counts as a fail?
like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it... First, the killer tortured and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut.
No. What? Am I jumping ahead again?
Crap! Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured not and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut.
Oh, God damn it, this game sucks.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut.
Right, I just did that.
Crap! Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
It's the next one.
Then, after they killed him,
There we go.
Allow me to cut through those words. No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
what did you say?
There's a lot of obvious steps that they fail to, like, see through.
Who cares about the duct tape? You might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
So glib about this whole entire situation. This is what I find the most annoying about these kind of characters.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? You have a crush on him or something?
Says the guy who is an idiot.
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
Yeah, because Mr. Tsundere did the same thing when his sister got killed.
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
Yeah, because you would know.
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
No, that was a mousetrap.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that?
The person who opened the door.
When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Yeah, because you kicked the door, it dominated through, and triggered the oil lighter.
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
No.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
No, I think it's you.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the
Because it
pattern
was
up until
perfect.
now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Can they not see the dominoes?
Some kind of setup? Like,
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
Says a person who has a crush.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
What argument is there to make? It's the panels.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
God damn it!
Crap! The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Dominoes!
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Ah, god damn it! I did not see sound waves.
Crap!
Hey Brian, you saying P3 Fest is making consistent viewers? You're actually enjoying the game after you figure out how to fuse personas? Because that's the main crux of that game.
The direct cause of the fire was
Is fusing those
the oil
personas.
lighter found at the crime
It's like
scene,
connecting.
right?
It's Pokemon.
The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way? Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused.
There we
Agree
go.
with that. I also
After
agree
you
that
figured
opening
out
the
fusing
doors
personas were the
started
way to go,
fire.
the game got a lot easier. Also realized the game is not long. Yeah, the game is not really all that long if you like just focus through the main storyline. And fusing the persona is how you raise your stats, because your normal stats is not all that great. It's your persona stats is what gives you your overall power levels.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
You're still not giving up on Orpheus. No, you'll get the leveled up version at the end game.
The killer probably
I
arranged
think.
those Monokuma panels to
Or is
create
that
the domino effect.
Fess? The answer where you get him.
Domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
Oh god damn it, that's not the right way to use that term.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
One other thing to hide the domino effect. Maybe this?
I see.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Yeah, because someone kicked it.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door,
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
but the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
The killer wouldn't have left? Yeah, he so totally could have left. Have they never tried to prop a door while
The panel
leaving?
was so close to the door that it could barely be opened. The killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
No, you would have the door open, have the panel rest on the door, and as soon as you close it, the panel would already be falling on top of the door. How is that not hard to believe?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
No, because they were able to close the door.
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Oh, who, pray tell?
You don't mean...
Hajime? What do you mean?
Oh, don't tell me. It's gonna... You look like an idiot. What's with that face? It's like someone kicked you in the crotch. It's himself.
This is my answer. What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
He's setting up for the traitor to kill himself. This was his idea from the get-go.
Not just the victim. What does that mean?
He was also the accomplice.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
I wouldn't say that.
Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible. To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
What?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
He loves using the word
How about if you
impossible.
use your teeth?
Oh wait, it's blue.
If you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Crap! To actually tie up your own arms and...
There we go. That's the one I wanted.
Hold on a second. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
Only one arm.
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms.
That is the sticking point that you have to break. Oh, this case is so flimsy.
The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
Technicalities.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it. I see! Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
No! That is wrong!
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
That is also wrong!
That's definitely wrong.
God damn it, stop going in my head!
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That is an American phrase.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Unless you're holding it straight up with your left and then slap it.
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
Could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Yes, that
Propped
is the
it
answer.
onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Okay, I'm gonna have to steal one of those
Even if
clues.
Nagito's right hand was free.
How could he stab his right? If he threw the knife and let the knife, could he stab his hand out? Is he a throwing knife? That maybe he propped them and slammed his right hand down. Propped it onto what?
If he just propped
The knife.
he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily.
We don't know if his left hand
Could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right
right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand? If he threw the knife and let the knife,
Could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the
That didn't work. With his free hand.
wrong? Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
I'm probably gonna run out of time.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right hand was free.
Am I gonna use the burn
how could he
root
stab
logic
his right
again?
hand with his right hand.
If he threw the knife
into the air and let the knife, could he stab his hand out? Is he a throwing knife? That maybe he propped them and slammed his right hand, propped it onto. If he just propped them, he could have used his.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it.
This is my... We will never give up!
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he
Propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily.
Nope, guess that's not it. Disc Boy says this game confuses me bad. Same here. Because there's a lot of terrible leaps of logic or lack of logic with these characters.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Is it blood on the girder?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Oh, that went away.
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
And Mr. Tsundere sounds so guilty here.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
That's not it.
It's wrong?
No, that's the spear. That's definitely the spear.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
if he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what? If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't
Bend that easily.
His left hand was completely tied up, so he wasn't able to move it. It's both his legs. But his right arm is free. He can still twist his body. Could his left hand even reach his right hand? Yeah, you could. If you still have the movement of your upper right side of your body. You can twist your waist. Should still be able to clap your hands if you're holding something. And he was definitely already holding the rope to the spear of his left hand. That much is already obvious, but we're not there yet. Problem with this game is like, what is the trigger point to move on to the next section?
Damn it!
Hate this game so much.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Disc voices, this game, what is logic, lol.
Throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand down on it?
Oh, whoa, wait. Ah, give it back. Ah. I was hoping that might work, but I'm gonna have to do another loop.
He could have used his bound. If you're tied up, we don't know if his left hand
Could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right hand
was free, how could he stab his right hand? If he threw the knife and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand out? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow
No.
And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what? If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms.
we don't know if his left hand can even reach his right hand.
Okay, I already failed this section. Another retry.
If Nagito's right, how could he stab?
We will never give up!
The plushie that is still kind of weird. I don't know where that works with. Really? I never knew this. They give you infinite time if you hold the trigger to give you, like, to let you pick the right item before you go. That's kind of nice that they never tell you about it. So you can set up to the one that you want. What do I want? I want the panel.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Okay, that's not right.
Even if Nagito's right hand
Was free. How could he stab his right hand? If he threw the knife and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand out? Is he a throwing knife? Maybe he propped the knife somehow.
Nope.
Even if Nagito's
So I'm gonna have to grab one of those.
And let the knife fall.
fall,
Could he stab
his hand
that way? Is he a throwing knife expert?
maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand
Hand down on it? Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right hand
Also
was
notice used his has no
how could he
space in
stab
it.
his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow.
Alright, that doesn't work. What do you prop it with? His bound left hand! You just said it in the next sentence! Ah.
It's wrong?
Apparently that's not the right thing.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
Apparently real world logic doesn't apply to this
And let the
universe.
knife fall.
But then again we have
Could he stab his
Monokuma.
hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow
I can't grab the
and
blue
slammed
ones.
his right hand down on it.
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms
Won't bend that easily.
we don't know if his left
Damn
hand
it.
could even reach his right hand.
Boo.
Even if Nagito's
Right hand was. How could he stab his right hand? If he threw the knife and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand out? Is he a throwing knife? Maybe he propped them and slammed his right hand. Propped it onto. If he just propped, he could have used his bound.
if you're tied up, your
Your arms won't bend that easily.
Nope.
damn it! Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Nope. Disc voices. I never heard of this game. Hold on. But you lost more than ever since you came here, Itachi, because it's Canadian joysticks. Thanks.
It's wrong?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Time's up. Alright, third time! This sequence is terrible. Not only because I suck at it, but because what is it trying to do?
We will never give up.
What do I want? It's not the oil lighter. I don't think there's torture wounds. Burned rope. Survival knife. Not that. Not that either. I'll try burned rope again.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't.
Won't bend that easily.
I did this one before. Definitely didn't work.
Damn it! Even if Nagito's right hand was free.
How could he stab his right hand? If he threw the knife and let the knife
Could he stab
his hand that way? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he
Propped the knife and slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it
onto what?
If he just propped the knife,
He could have
used
used.
his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know
Bend
if his
that
left hand can
easily.
even reach his right hand.
If Knight could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm, then how did he do it?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Nope.
It's wrong? Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
What was the oil lighter again? I'm gonna have to look at all these clues. Burned rope. Rope that was tied to his right arm burned off, however, as his right sleeve looked clean. Torture wounds. Both his legs were tied with rope, and each rope was tied to nearby pillars, preventing him from moving. His eyes were also covered a lot of stab wounds. Survival knife. Stabbed to his right hand, knife. The artery base. Safe to assume that the wound on his legs was caused by a knife. Not that. It's definitely not this. Not that either. Find out the fire's origin point. Looks like this was the cause of the fire. So, not it.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Can't grab
and slammed
that.
his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
Used his bound left hand is definitely something.
Could even reach his right hand.
But it's not the right one. So what can he use his bound left hand with?
How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
That's definitely
could he stab his
nothing.
hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife
This
somehow
didn't work before.
and slammed his right hand down on it?
What other combinations can I work this with?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up,
Your arms won't bend that easily.
So that didn't work.
damn it!
I don't even have the clue, the spear clue, which shows that he was holding onto that
How
rope.
could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let
The
the knife
torture
fall,
wounds? Nah, that's not it.
It's wrong? Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
if he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
No. 4 continues.
Even if Nagito's
Oh,
right
I
hand was
so need a clue on this one.
how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife.
Where's the logic in this?
We will never give up!
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe
Do
he
I need to
propped the knife
jump
somehow
Chip onto
and
another
slammed
piece
his
of
right hand
evidence?
down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
Probably did not.
Damn it! Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
What was the Monokuma clue? Monokuma panel. A lot of tipped over Monokuma panels were scattered around the goods warehouse. In one area, the panels seemed to be laying on top of each other in a straight, orderly line. So nothing about holding a knife. It's like, if this was available as of something I can shoot, this would have solved a lot of problems with this conversation. Blow a splatter on the palm of Nagito's left hand. For some reason, the splatter cuts off in the middle of his palm. Also, the back of his left hand had an unnatural blood stain that's only above the middle joints of his fingers, meaning that he gripped something with it. And it's already known that he's gripped the rope with it. But who's to say he could have gripped the rope with the knife? Surrounding knife was stabbed in Nagito's right hand. The knife was from the military base. It's safe to assume that wound his legs and arm were caused by this knife. Not it. Warehouse. Time of death was probably noon sharp. Mysterious stabs, and there's multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. There's lacerations on his left arm, and the knife impaled to his right hand.
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
So I'm guessing they're saying
and
it's
slammed
not
his right
propped.
hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
Nope. His left hand was definitely tied up.
Damn it!
Oh,
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
stream chat, I'm gonna need some help on this.
And let the knife fall. Could he stab his hand that way?
Because I'm not seeing what they're trying to get at.
Knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
The thing you shoot is Chiaki, says Bionic Fraud.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free.
Which is, I understand, but what with? That's the problem,
He threw the
because
knife into the air.
I'm not too sure what they want, and I already got rid of
Could
that
he stab his hand that way?
thing.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Not with that, I guess.
It's wrong?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Not torture wounds.
It's wrong?
What did he prop it with?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air
The
and let the
plushie?
knife fall,
Is this where the plushie comes in?
his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife
It
expert?
can't be, can it?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
What?
I agree with
Oh my god! What? How? How?
the life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
How? Isn't the hole in stomach because of the spear?
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
Is that what you meant? God damn it.
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
That would be good.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
Yes, by dropping it.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
Yes.
If that's true, how is that possible?
It was hanging by a rope that he let go.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
He can still grip it.
He probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
You're just tiptoeing around it.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
No, 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 la la la. I did not hear her say that. No, 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 la 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 la.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Please, erase it from your mind, Mr. Soda.
Like I said, if you got penetrated...
Nope.
Say it one more time. I need you recorded.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
No, it's more like an accomplice.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone.
Like he did with the other cases. Who was the one that inflicted that weird reverse disease? Who locked everyone up in that room? It was all Monokuma. He already broke the rules.
If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Too late. Just do it.
Monome's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So...
Because you're dumb.
this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Why would you say that?
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
You jerk.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
No, it's imaginable. It's definitely possible. Plus, you're the only one who has been a confirmed killer and got away with it.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
No, it's possible.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Oh, burn!
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
Oh, you're so close!
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together.
For a person who's full of game logic, you could not see this puzzle.
That's how. We made it this far up till now.
That's wishful thinking.
Everyone working together.
All right, let's do this.
Blood on left hand.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Oh, please, just tell us, Hajime.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
And no one else noticed this?
He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit.
Just throw a punch. Show him a closed fist.
If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Gripping.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Oh, shut up!
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear.
You're not helping.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
Why is it impossible?
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think?
Don't look at me.
Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
Oh, that is such a creeper face.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Do people know of old CRTs at this point?
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
The cord.
I see! That's it! Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
We already found that out. Or does Hajime is the only one who knows this? Like, the weird thing about these trial sections is that under normal circumstances, when we do a formal trial in the real world, both sides of the prosecution and defense present all of the available evidence allowable for the court, and each side gets to review it to see what they want. Here, no, and this also includes Phoenix Wright. It appears that no one knows what everyone else has in their bag of tricks. So it just feels like everyone's seeing this for the very first time, even though they were in the room where they found it.
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
If I Fury, what, Mr. Tsundere, why is he so stuck on this whole I can't believe it's impossible thing? It's like as if he was hiding the fact that he was the accomplice helping him do this all in the first place. Is this the reason why he chose to stay on the island? Is because he is the traitor? Please tell me he is so I can kill him.
You're not gonna say
Hate him so
he ripped
much.
the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki?
Why y'all looking at me? I don't want to be the star.
I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Of course it can.
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
Wow, that is so round. What?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
Fine, Francis, well, your despair for this trial is delicious. Yes! I am so suffering right now! plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once. But
That's a
it's
long
right
plan,
there for the taking.
One step at a time. What does that mean?
One step at a time.
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
You mean you guys never thought about this? It's also quite amazing that the spear remains standing propped up that way when, like, maybe the tip and maybe like 2-3 inches. Let's be generous. Maybe 4 inches of body mass is suspending the spear. Like the spear looks pretty heavy. Like you would imagine the spear would be like tipped over or whatever. Oh no! Is it? Please don't tell me. No! I hate you, game. I hate you so much. Yeah. Above. Isn't it so obvious? What the hell are those things? What? A ceiling girder. By definitions, it's at the ceiling. I was trying to do. Ooh. Spear's cord. Was it that hard to think about that? Did you really have to dive to find out that conclusion? There's more? There's more? What?
It's all coming together. The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular lines.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
That's such an old reference. If anyone in Stream Chat knew what I was talking about, I would give you a hug.
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he'd probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling.
That's actually kind of hard when you think about it. Cause unless the entire length of the cord was bloodied up beforehand. Like from the image, only like the tail end plus the knobby bit had blood on it. So with physics, when the rope is flying straight up towards the ceiling and around the girder, when it reached the top, it would actually whip across over the girder and not actually rub against the far edge where the rope was laying against when it fell straight down. Though someone could prove me wrong, I'm not a physicist. But from my experience, when a rope is hoisted around an object and then released, it just whips over the edge. It doesn't rub on the side unless for the first section that's already there in the first place.
So, how about it? Using this method,
But this is game logic.
with the spear.
Throwing my hands up on against that. I've played games where you had a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle, and that's how you used to get across a ravine. So anything's possible.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
Yes, because he finally decided to help the other team. He said he'll do it.
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that.
Cloud Monkey 98 says, "Are the class trials psych locks? Are the trials like the trial psych locks in Phoenix? Right? Yes. They're almost nearly identical, except that you have these weird little mini games that pretty much have nothing to do with anything else. Really, like that stupid logic dive that I had to do earlier.
If someone else did this,
But yeah,
there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real?
why don't you believe it?
He really committed suicide?
That, and he had an accomplice.
Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Quite possibly, yes.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping a spear?
No, he could have done it at a different point in time. Doesn't have to be all at once.
That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
I mean, I would too if I was stabbing myself in the leg.
Did he need to go that far?
Yeah, if he was trying to help the other team.
That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake.
What mistake?
By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer.
Yeah.
His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Mr. Jazzbo says, Nagito, you so crazy.
Did he want us to die that bad?
Cloud Monkey 98 says, I've seen episode 1 of the anime, so if I could guess, you play as Hajime, right? Yes, in Danganronpa 2 you play as Hajime, but in number 1 you play an entirely different character.
That's messed up. That's serious.
The anime is based off of the first game. This is the sequel.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Yep, that's our Nagito. That's the title of our next sitcom. Mind volume mouse that threatens us even after he's dead.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place?
Okay, Hajime looks like an average anime protagonist. Yep, he was designed to be like that in mind. Yep. So if you're not familiar with either of the series, it's easy to make that comparison. Like, they look so similar. The only difference is one is wearing a jacket, the other one isn't, really. Like, I still believe that Hajime is still the protagonist from the first game. Because Byakuya is here, but he was like the master impersonator. Ultimate impersonator, so is that true?
If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick.
Tamaki Naisa's love protag jacket.
He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi.
Dun dun dun!
He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other, and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
I don't like the fact how they're all jumping to this conclusion so early in the trial.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
Brian Frost says Nagito wears a blazer over a hoodie. Yeah, that's what was his name? Oh god damn it! The master of Xbox 360 launch. I forgot what's his name. Monkey says 98 says, yeah, Master of Disguise.
He's
yeah,
a fucking
that movie
bastard who
sucked.
killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion.
Oh my god, it is Fuya Yugo. It is Mr. Tsundere. Just the way he said that. It's him, like, please let it be him.
Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
You were the one who could have ended this game, like, in chapter 2. All you could have done was agree that he used his best friend as a tool, and this whole entire scenario would have gone away.
That should be okay, right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Oh, you feel so uneasy about it? Because we're like an hour in the trial. Monkey says, I also see that they aren't pulling a Phoenix Wright with the people just jumping into and out of the witness stand. Well, they kind of are. Every single one of these people are on a witness stand. So when the conversation jumps back and forth, it's kind of like the same effect, I guess. They are the judge, jury, and witness. Monokuma is the executioner. Because he is the law!
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh?
No.
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right?
No.
It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Why are you sticking your tongue out at a happy ending? Creeper.
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer?
No.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more.
Uh-oh. Cloud Monkey 98 says, but they don't have to just have the people just take the place of one other characters. They each have a place in the setup.
I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
No, unless it's like Chapter 3, where everyone was afflicted with the reverse disease. Where the killer, told one to do something and in effect became the tool and was the accomplice. Isn't that right, Mikan?
That's true, but
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
They could be the one who caused the situation in the first place. Mikan.
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But
Reference back to Chapter 3.
I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, something that we could even have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
What was this? No. Notebook. The diary that Moni updated every day, or did she? According to Moni, can't write. What was this about? I don't remember this clue. Oh, right, the poison. But is it this? What is the one that they want? There's so many things that I could use about this. Is it this? No, that's not it. Something related to his death, a piece of it that's even he couldn't mess with. Mr. Jazzbo says, present your badge. Can't be that. No, it's not that. No, I hit the wrong button. I wanted to read that. Yep. What was her account? Used one of the bombs. We found that the bomb were fake. No.
Crap!
No. I'm just gonna randomly keep picking these things. I'm not entirely too sure what they're talking about. Like, I'm guessing everything that was related to his room is not it.
Crap!
No. I'm gonna keep trying on this.
This is... We will never give up!
Something related to his death, evidence that even he couldn't mess with. Cloud Monkey says Phoenix Wright style solution, just go spam the choices to reach the game over and reload, save, and repeat, and so forth until the answer shows up. Which is what I'm doing right now. What the hell was this thing about? Hidden in his cottage under his bed. Pains all 16 students from his school due to the fact that Monokuma forged the traitor's profile. Looking at this won't help identify who the traitor is. Is it this?
Crap!
No, it's not. What are they talking about? Almost anything can be here. MP3 player?
Crap!
No. God damn it. It wasn't this.
Crap!
No.
Crap!
No. I'm just gonna keep going on each one of these. It's just pointless trying to figure it out now.
Crap! Crap!
No. Is it the spear?
Crap!
No. What did I not pick? I was kind of random about this. Everything about this is related to his death. What the hell are you talking about? Unless it's the diary, but I already chose the diary, so it's not the... So what did I not pick? It's not this. We already discovered what this was. You know what that is. An oil lighter? No. Cloud Monkey 90 says, if I knew the case, I could help. That's sweet of you. Ah, screw it. I'm just gonna mash on everything. Cloud Monkey 98 says, something that he could not change before he died is the key about this, I think. So, what? So what would that be?
We'll never give up.
Something he could not change before he died. Well, you could change any one of these. Unless it's duct tape, which is no. Not the MP3 player because we tried that. Not any of these. Not that. Not that. We just tried that. We tried that. We tried that. Try it again. Not it. Yeah. So again, what is he talking about? The plushie? I have not tried the plushie? I thought we already discovered the plushie.
Crap!
Yep, it's not it. Good try, Cloud Monkey. Alright, what else have we not tried? Oh, you messed with the panels.
Crap!
Not it. It's like, starting from the bottom. I did this, I did this, I did that. Part first is he would tell me about enjoying the suffering. That is the sweet taste of despair. And the whole reason why I'm playing this, because I hate this game so much. Blood on his left hand?
Crap!
No. So, did that, yeah, did that. That?
Crap!
No. Did that. Duct tape?
Crap!
No. Did that?
Crap!
No. There's nothing in the early pieces of evidence. I'm pretty sure about that.
Crap!
As everything in the early first half of the evidence set is something that he messed with.
Crap!
So, what did I miss? Did I hit every single one of those?
We will never give up!
Warning left, so this enchanted liquid. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized, and its gaseous state is heavier than air. It breakdowns in minutes, and it's susceptible to hydrolysis, so it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place, in glass or... I would not say plastic container for this kind of thing, and stay from sunlight. So who did he poison? Or what did he want to poison with? A thin round piece of aluminum paper. What did I miss? I've hit every single one of these, right? Did I hit this one?
Crap!
No. It's nice that they reset the clock to 3 minutes every single time. It's a notebook, right?
Crap!
No, it's not the notebook. It's like I would figure it's everything beyond the MP3 player. Like everything down here, but I've hit every single one of these things, right? Cloud Monkey says glass mask was poison seems suspicious. That is true, but selecting it doesn't allow me to continue here. Yeah, but you need one piece and not two. I don't know if I need one piece. I mean, One Piece has moved on beyond past what I on there, like on episode 500, whatever. God, Monkey says, "Hello, One Piece." So what did I miss? Can't be this, can it?
I see!
Oh god damn it!
Is it about the Monokuma file?
What? Did I leap so far ahead in the story? Not about this? It's true that he can't mess with the Monokuma file.
Yeah, that's it.
Bionic Frost, is One Piece still about finding One Piece? I mean, yeah, overall it is, but we'll never find out because once they find One Piece, it's over. There's nothing else.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
I forgot about reading the actual Monokuma. Wait, the Monokuma file didn't say he was poisoned, did he? Inside the factory near the warehouse, sometimes does believe noon sharp. South size. Arm pill to the right arm. Yeah, it didn't say anything about poisoning. What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Ah! Mini games! Something in something. Not S. C. No. No, not E. C. A? Wow, there's a lot of letters. Oh, can't keep up with any of this. Cause of death. Oh my god, there's so many letters. How in the world was I supposed to keep up with that? I mean, on a touchscreen I can understand because I'm tapping things. But like, we're playing on a Vita TV here. I'm using a DualShock 3. Monkey says, hello, at the moment you realize that you forgot about the autopsy report. I know, it's... It's like one of those moments where you like slap me in the face and says, no! No! Mario Frost says, press R. Yeah, I know, that pressing R will slow down time. But that only lasts for a few seconds. Not even, maybe a couple of seconds. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous how many of those letters were appearing. Here it comes. So ready. Whoops. Holy shites. Look, it's kind of so ridiculous how many letters here. God damn it! Stop moving! Ah. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. Damn it. Oh wow, magic pixel. Fireflies says it's okay, this is like the worst case.
There's no specific cause of death.
Yeah, we all assumed the cause of death was the spear. I forgot about that too.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
Which is a bit of a lie. I think the picture shows the term cause of death right there. So, see right there. In that little pink line of text, it is cause of death. And from there, we blindly assumed that everything listed underneath it was the cause of death. It says the time, and it says all the things that happened to him. So one naturally assumes everything listed there